Welcome to your doom. Shut it and get over here. Massive uppercut!
Hello and welcome to another edition of the JabJab Show. Today I'm reviewing a film. But what the heck? You said back in March you weren't going to do film reviews anymore. You're going to stick to retro games and so forth. And you had a big long video about it. Yes, I did. But this is a Star Wars film, so I'm going to do the Star Wars film because I'm a big Star Wars fan. Got a t-shirt and everything. So what I'm going to do is do a spoiler review on Star Wars The Last Jedi. So if you're not seen it yet and you want to see it, I'm going to spoil it all for you. So make sure if you don't want anything spoiled, don't want, just come back after you've watched it and make your own opinions and so forth. So I did watch it on the midnight showing for the first time I watched it. I did a video on that. I took a little rubbishy stills camera, bit low, bit focus and so forth. But I did a little initial reaction to that. I've got the video at some point down wherever it is on the timeline or where in the video. So check it out if you want to. I did my initial reaction to that. I have watched it another second time since, and some of the issues I had with the film still are here, but I understand more of some of the character motivations and things like that, and I've also watched a heck of a lot of videos, read reviews and so on since. The opinions I've got is not swayed any which way by anything. I'm just saying it's a very polarizing film. It split people down the middle. It's and I do see why that is so. I do see the issues I have with the film are a lot of people's issues as well, plus more so. I won't go into I wouldn't say I'm as negative of a lot of people. I don't say I'm as positive of a lot of people. I'm just somewhere, I don't know where. It's just my reviews and so forth. So anyway, Force Awakens was the one before this. The story is, of this film starts off pretty much straight away, or matter of hours perhaps. I'm not sure the official timeline here. By the way, it's directed by Ryan Johnson, he directed Brick, The Brothers Bloom and Lupus, 3 good films. If you haven't seen them, very good films. If you haven't seen them, so check them out. And you can tell by watching this, one of my reactions of my video before this of the midnight showing, if that makes sense, was he knows his Star Wars. He knows at least the pacing, at least the kind of theme of it, and but we get on to kind of things what he does with certain characters in a while. But he directed this one. Going back to J.J. Abrams for episode 9, but again, a bit later on for that one. So I watched the film second time, and some of the issues I had initially was still remain. I've watched a lot of videos and read a lot of reviews and so forth, and the issues I have, a lot of people have. I can see why people have very divisive on this film. It's probably the most divisive Star Wars film, of what's happened so far, including the prequels. I would say I watched and read a lot of reviews online and in print and so forth, and like any Star Wars film, it's going to be picked to pieces. It's going to have a little minutia of the film is going to be analysed and theorised and so forth, and what this means for episode 9 and what's happened, and I don't like this, don't like that, and that's natural for Star Wars films. A lot of fans out there, including myself. What I would say, when I watched the trailer, when it first came out, the extended trailer, I'm not too sure which one, and Luke says it's time for the Jedi to end, things along that lines. You're thinking, oh, okay. What does he mean by that? Is, are they rehearsing a play, called, I don't know, but what does that mean, kind of thing? And a lot of people theorising, and it seems to me, I didn't initially like the idea of what they were going to do with Luke, judging by what they did in the trailer, the line he has in the trailer. But I kind of liked they took it a different way than expected. People were theorising lots of things. From the events of Force Awakens, it's going to happen. There's a lot of videos out there. There's lots of people out there saying, "I want this, I want that," kind of thing. And I personally, I quite liked that they did what they did with Luke, to be honest. Initially, with the I was a bit thrown back the first time I watched it, don't get me wrong, a bit thrown back, how he was, how he's, he's broken, he's kind of like, he's gone to this island to die, and he's just got himself off in the Force, and he's got his motivations and what have you, and and the thing is, apparently Mark Hamill, he's really good in this film. I liked him a lot in this film. He plays it really well. Some of the moments I'm not too sure of, but but it was okay. He plays it really well. Apparently he didn't initially or at all like the direction Rian Johnson took the character, because when at the end of the Force Awakens, Rey's holding out the lightsaber and so on, and you see Luke, and everyone wants to know what's he going to do with it, kind of thing. There's a lot of theories about it, but basically just threw it over his shoulder, and people I've read like a comment saying, oh, it's a metaphor for the for the franchise now, just throwing everything that they've done good, just throwing it away. I don't believe in that, to be honest. I don't believe that's so, but thing like this and other fan theories about Rey's lineage and who Snoke is, and I'll get to them later, but it's it seems to me like Rian Johnson and the screenwriters and so forth probably maybe they're aware of the fan theories and all the rest of it, so they're on the wrong foot, people. And I don't know, maybe some of the people, whatever percentage, some of the people out there who's saying, oh, it's absolute, I'd hate this film, all the rest of it, is because they were seen as proven wrong, kind of thing. They were saying, oh yeah, Rey's a Skywalker, this happens, that happens, and that didn't happen, these don't happen, these, and maybe it's because, I don't know, maybe that's a debate there, that's a thing. So let me know down below, before I continue, if you feel, because you were proved wrong, or, your theories were, like, kind of, took to a different direction where you wanted it. Is that the reason why you didn't like the film? I don't know. And I think it's okay to kind of like do this, like what they might have done with the fan theories, and take it to a different direction. Do unexpected things like that. It's okay to a point. It's like if you do it in, just do too much of it, maybe like make it so it's like an illogical step, if you will, for Star Wars, the way the narrative is, and way things appear to be going. You look at the prequel trilogy, it's like Anakin's story, the original trilogy, Luke's story, and this trilogy, it was hinted at Rey's story. Rey's also a Skywalker, like that was the thing. The Skywalker saga. Previously on the Skywalker saga. I don't know. Anyway, so maybe because they haven't gone that way, maybe to me, in a sense, that doesn't make sense to have Rey as a nobody, as Kylo Ren said. Maybe he's just lying, but she didn't deny what he was saying. I don't know, but that's the way it's portrayed anyway. But we'll get to Rey a little later. So like I say, the whole Luke Skywalker thing, I'm okay with, to be honest. I'm taken aback, but I'm okay with. What I also felt was narratively, the film, the pace is quite good. The pace is pretty good. What I would say though, and I did mention it in my previous video about the film, about this film when I watched it the first time, it was quite Star Warsy in that what I was going on about. There's lots of moments when there's three subsequent stories happening at the same time. It keeps going back to one and the other. What I would say though is, like a lot of people have said, initially I thought the casino bit, I don't know what's it called, the Canto Bite, the casino bit, Rose and Finn, and the whole kangaroo dog horse things, kind of like that could have been condensed. That could have been, I didn't quite buy. Don't get me wrong, I like John Boyega as Finn. I think he's really good. Rose, I can't remember the actress's name, but she was good. She had a bit of a, there was a character there, but I didn't. I like the initial meeting. It's all played out well. It's just the way things transpired. They had to go into this casino planet, this Canto Bites, to get this man with a little red blue thing, whatever it was on this thing. It was a little too much of a diversion. I felt, despite what I think about what happened when they got there, which I think I feel some of it's okay, some of it not so much. You know, I think it's a bit too much of a diversion from the thing. They just wanted to get this code breaker. They have to, then they have to just go into this other world. It seemed to be like too much of like kind of like diversion from what they needed to do. You know, they didn't have much time to do it, but for some reason they went over there. So that the whole thing about the I don't know what the creatures are called, but they kind of like horsey, kangaroo, floppy ear things, and the whole chase with the ships and all that. It was okay. The stampede was okay. It just seemed to be like very the least Star Warsy part of the film. I don't know. It just felt like a little out of place. Again, I think they could have done that, but what all this a little bit quicker, kind of got to the point a bit more. But what I would say, it does set up something that you see at the very end of the film, which we'll get into later. But the thing is, when they got put in prison, and they still ain't got the code breaker, they thought, the code breaker over there, he's wearing this thing. He's like a kind of Bruce Campbell-esque kind of character, very suave and what have you. I don't know. I could imagine Bruce Campbell playing that role. It wasn't him, but he could have easily done that. Lots of charisma and charm and so forth. Anyhow, they're getting put in prison, and Benicio del Toro's character DJ, I didn't. The way it played out, for me, watching it is like, he crossed them. Would he double cross them again? He's going to do a Han Solo thing, like at the end of New Hope, where he comes back in the Falcon, and he's a good guy after all, kind of thing. But that didn't happen. So I'm just got to take it as it was on the screen. I didn't like his character. Basically, I thought, I get his character. I get what he was doing. He's just like, he's all the con man, and he's obviously a code breaker who knows his stuff about all that kind of thing. And I'm not doubting any of that. It just felt like it seemed to me that the writers put themselves in the corner, and I thought, how are they going to get out of this and do this and do this? And I would just have some guy show up, say I can do this, just does his thing and just goes and double crosses them, and I thought it was a bit too simplistic, kind of thing. Like, the character's there to do a thing and do another thing and do another thing, then he's gone. He's just and it just seems a very convenient point A to point B to point D using this character. Bugger it. Let's just do it that way. It doesn't seem organic. It didn't seem like Again, I get his character and his motivations. It's all purely money. I get that, but it just seemed to be very simplistically kind of done, and I didn't really like that part of it. So it's kind of like a literal get out of jail free card with both the screenwriters and the characters. So I didn't really like DJ. He's just there like a plot move on kind of thing. He didn't really have much more going for him. But going on about Rey, I really like Rey. Both in Force Awakens and in here, and liked, Daisy Ridley is really good in this. As Rey, it's a really good character. I like what she was doing, and now and again she just fall into to me to like stage cool kind of acting, a bit of received pronunciation and so forth. But overall, she's really good. I liked her scenes with Luke and with Kylo Ren as well. I would say, I'm not too bothered with the whole. They're talking to each other using the Force, the Kylo and Rey. I mean, it does say that Snoke is enabling them to do so, because I think Kylo at one point says, why are we connected using the Force? It turns out Snoke's doing it. I do like the visuals, like when she see, she's having these visuals, and I think it's a nice little thing where she puts out her hand and Luke wraps him on the hands with the little leaf thing. I do like that. It's kind of a Yoda thing. I don't know. Luke has a essence of a Yoda and Obi-Wan in this, which I think everyone expected to him would be some kind of strange old hermit kind of thing going on. But I like Rey as she was doing this, and she sees visions of this hole in the ground, and she's kind of seduced. Alluded to, the dark side. She's been kind of like pulled towards it and so on. And when she goes into that hole, and she. I really like the kind of mirror thing when she goes and click. I do like that kind of thing, and the whole visuals of that scene, and the meaning of it. It reminded me initially of like when she's when Luke turns around and he watches her go on, it does remind me of in Empire when Yoda does the same thing when Luke goes into the forest and he sees Vader, or sees a vision of Vader, and he slices down. And I thought they're going to do that kind of thing, and they did a kind of variant on that, I feel. So I did like that. I did like the visuals, very interesting. What I would say is the whole parentage thing. Later on in this film, Kylo does mention like she's come from nothing basically. Her parents sold her off, and all the rest of it. I don't mind that. I know there's immaculate conception. Is it immaculate conception? Immaculate conception. I don't know, something like that. Like to do with Anakin. You've got to think the symmetry is a little bit, a little bit here. Luke was a farm boy. He's living with Aunt Beru, Uncle Owen. He's a farm boy. Anakin was, obviously. I don't know, a slave kind of thing. His mum was a slave. This and that. There's things of it. Also points a little bit to the broom kid at the end, which I'll talk about kind of thing. And Rey is a scavenger. Like her parents alludes to. So I don't know. There's kind of like there's similarities there with the things. And most people maybe expect her to be a Skywalker. Why is she only referred to as Rey? What's her surname? That kind of thing. I get all that, and I did half expect, to be honest, to be, somewhat connected to them in blood kind of thing, but the way they're going, and obviously they got Kylo as Ben Solo and all the rest of it, it's still, I think, kind of maybe it'll work out in episode 9, but as it stands, I don't have a problem with her coming from nothing kind of thing. I did think about this, and it did wrong foot me again. It's another thing of this film that kind of wrong footed me, but I don't mind. I think it's good that it did wrong foot the theorists in this way. Obviously people are gonna I don't know, criticise this. I don't personally have a problem with it. And about Kylo Ren, I really liked him. I really liked Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, and in The Force Awakens as well. It kind of threw me off initially, because maybe a lot of other people, because you see the trailer for Force Awakens. There's a bit where he's got a Vader's helmet in his hand, and basically saying, "I'll finish what you started," that kind of thing, and he wants to emulate Vader. So everyone's kind of expecting a Vader point 2, not 2.0. I don't know, second Vader anyway. So let's see Vader 2, the sequel. But he's clearly not the finished product like Vader was for most of the screen time we saw Vader. What I would say is I like that, they've changed it up a little bit. He's younger, and you can still see with the timeline of this film and The Force Awakens, there's not much time for him to kind of like grow with the dark side or grow with anything basically. So he's still pretty much in the same place mentally as what he was in The Force Awakens. Rey thinks therefore he can, she can pull him back from the dark side. Snoke apparently wants to get all the goodness out of him and be a Vader kind of thing, because he knows his ambitions and whatever. Like you can tell that Vader, Kylo Ren and Snoke have sat down and said, "So where do you see yourself in 2 years?" That kind of like job thing going on. But I liked Adam Driver. He seemed to be. You can tell, for me, you can always tell he's thinking all the time. There's things going on in his head, kind of thing. Especially when he's got the controls and he's going to fight. Shoot Leia, the ship where Leia's on, which is another thing in itself. And the way that plays out, and other moments as well. I do like how you can see the conflict with him and all that shit. So I did like Kylo Ren, especially as well the kind of flashbacks with him and Luke, on Act 2. The different events, the different accounts of the event that happened and so forth. I do like that, but it kind of leads me on to Snoke as well. I mean, Snoke, obviously it was it teased Snoke in the Force Awakens, and you saw this massive hologram of him talking to Kylo, both Kylo and General Hux, about stuff, and you can think, well, is he this 50-foot guy? He's actually his actual size, this hologram, or is he just some little guy who's got this like small man syndrome kind of thing? It just ended up to be, to me, a bit of a disappointment. Whether he comes back in episode 9 somehow, I don't know. But the way it was shown, you can tell he's very powerful. You know, he can fire lightning and stuff, and it seemed to be like a poor man's Palpatine. You know, I suppose everyone, you know, every bad guy, every big evil guy at the top of the chain is gonna be compared to Palpatine. You know, so everyone probably is gonna be a poor man's Emperor Palpatine. He doesn't, you know. You know, if they killed him off, I thought he would have, you know, had a bit of a fight, like, you know, a bit of throwdown with, you know, one, maybe both of them, like Count Dooku or something in Attack of the Clones. Whatever you think of that film, but I'm saying he could have had something like that, and you know, he sliced, you know, Kylo Ren's like got Rey in front of him, and you can see, you know, he's got a lightsaber by Snoke's side. It turns, and I'm thinking, okay, this guy has established he's very powerful. He can make Kylo Ren. He uses Kylo Ren's goodness that's still with him to make him appear susceptible to be turned with Rey and manipulate him to do that, and also to help them to connect via the Force. So he can do all this stuff. I'm thinking, he can do all this. He said this, and you know, why can't he sense this lightsaber that is like inches away from him turning slightly? It would have been good for him to say, you know, to break off what he was saying, to say, and I also sense this lightsaber, you know, kind of thing. He does a cool thing with the lightsaber. He chucks it around and hits Rey on the head. I like that, but you know, it just seems a bit disappointing, you know. I can see, you know, the way that scene played out afterwards, and had a really good fight, Kylo and Rey, a really good fight with the Praetorian Guards and all the rest of it. I can see, story-wise, why he had to die, why Kylo, you know, felt the need to get rid of him. So he's now the Supreme Leader. You know, he announced himself as the Supreme Leader. Come, you know, join me, and we'll join the rule the galaxy, all the rest of it. You know, I understand all that. It just felt like, I'm guessing further down the line, yeah, they're going on with this Obi-Wan, is an Obi-Wan trilogy, so I don't know the future plans after 9. There's a lot of rumours. I'm thinking perhaps have Snoke die in episode 9, so, and Kylo at the end of episode 9. This is, you know, I don't know, say something along those lines. Join me, Rey, together, you know, just do what he did in this film, and then the next film perhaps, and, you know, because you got to think, Disney have got it now. They're going to churn these out, aren't they? You know, whether you like them or not, you know, they're going to, you know, and there's a danger there, obviously, of like too much goodness, whatever, but, you know, they could have had that, and because you think they're going to have 10, 11, 12, maybe with a completely new cast, maybe with a completely new story. I don't know, it's all kind of, not read too much about it. There's a lot of theories out there, but there's not as much concrete facts or whatever online. But what I'm saying is they could have had that potentially in the third film, in episode 9, this scene, and have Snoke, you know, be a bit more menacing in this film. But as it stands, you know, I'm a little bit disappointed with Snoke. I mean, I'm not a little bit disappointed. I'm quite disappointed. I'm very disappointed, to be honest. I'm kind of changed. Not sort of changed my mind. I got my words out, you know. So I think Snoke is a bit of a disappointment for me in this film. You know, I expected more because he was this big bad guy, big massive head honcho kind of thing, the Palpatine of this trilogy. Another disappointment I had with the film, with the character, Captain Phasma. What was going on? Seriously, what is happening? You know, she was portrayed as, in one way, I do see what they were saying about the comparisons with Boba Fett, because you think, you know, Boba Fett didn't have a lot of things to say, and, you know, he's very cool, very badass and all the rest of it. You know, maybe, you know, a lot of that comes from like the extended universe and, you know, things that, you know, that happened after Jedi, because he got eaten by the Sarlacc pit and so forth. You know, there's a lot of stories about how he got out of there and did all this cool stuff. You know, it's a very cool character, and the portraying Captain Phasma as this similarly badass stormtrooper, like, you know, and she's talked up loads, this character's talked up loads. Force Awakens happens, and she's in it, what, 3 minutes? I don't know, I won't count it, but not long. And I thought, okay, she's back for this one. You know, and the trailer shows a little standoff with Finn, because obviously they got previous there. As it happens, I was, what's the point, kind of thing? What's the point in building her up to just basically kill her off again, you know? I don't know what's happening there. Gwendolyn Christie might be a little. Well, I got paid. I don't know. But I was thinking, no, this is a bit disappointing, to be honest. The way it works. All the characters, Paul Dameron, I liked in this one. He's he's a bit reckless. He gets things wrong, but he kind of learns from them. There's a little thing about it. I don't think Oscar Isaac is a really good actor. He's very charismatic and all this. Everything I've seen him in is really good. So he's really, really good. He's like kind of more of a Han Solo-esque character in this one, barring the smuggling. And he comes up against authority, and I do like. The kind of attitude he has, even though he does have a lot of, he gets things wrong and so forth. But you see towards the end, at the end when they're on Crate, the Salt Planet, he's kind of like, a bit more kind of like thinking about things and what have you. And what's Luke doing? Oh, what's he doing? He's buying his time. He's thinking more. He's more level-headed. He has a lot of scenes with Princess Leia, and she. He's a likable character, I think, even though his decision making is a little too desired. He's got more things to do, and I do like him. I like his relationship with BB-8 and all the rest of it. I liked all that kind of stuff. Another character we also liked was General Hux. I mean, you're not supposed to like him. Domhnall Gleeson. He plays him really well. He's like this upper class kind of just bastard, isn't he? Space bastard. He's like, you see his like Hitler Rally-esque kind of sequence in Force Awakens. He's like the kind of, you can tell what he's doing with the character. And I really like that kind of sneery. You're supposed to hate him. He's a hateable character, and I just like the performance that he gives. And in this one as well, there's nice little moments where then he sees Kylo after that big Praetorian fight and all the rest of it, Praetorian like guards, and Kylo's on the floor and he walks in, he's gone out, Kylo starts moving and puts it back again. There's just little things like that, because there's a little power play between them. I like the dynamic between the two characters in Force Awakens and this one, and you can see after Kylo, he's now calling himself Supreme Leader and all the rest of it, and Hux is, you can tell he's a bit kind of like put out because, I don't know if maybe he thought he was going to be the leader, going to be above Kylo, but the way things transpired, so he has to kind of bite his lip a lot more, and I do like that because I do like that character. Yoda shows up. What the heck? Didn't see that happening. But it is a playful Yoda. It was a Yoda from Empire and Jedi, well, from what you saw with me, in Jedi, obviously. But, that was a good thing. It also worked. He looked like he did look like in Empire and Jedi, not the CGI Yoda, the puppet Yoda. I don't know if they used a combination of the two or not, but and again, it kind of threw me off a little bit, how that scene transpired with him and Luke, but I can see that, I can see where they're coming from, and I like Yoda in there, it's nice to see Luke, Luke after so many years without seeing Yoda, so many years without seeing R2, so many years without seeing Chewie, Luke become his old self again, in a lot of ways, for me anyway, he's on this island to do what he wants to do, he's got his daily routine, all the rest of it, but for me, it's really nice to see him. Obviously, with Leia as well at the end, it's kind of, obviously in because Carrie Fisher's passed on now, it's kind of like adds a bit more pathos to it. The last scenes you'll see with Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher together. But again, it's Luke. It's the performance of Mark Hamill. It's really, really good. I find it really good. Despite what you might think about the character, how the directions were, I just thought it was really good. So I like Yoda, Princess Leia, General Leia. I did like her. I think Carrie Fisher played her well. He kind of, she commands respect and all the rest of it. And I feel more than one reason, obviously. But I would say, and a lot of people mention this, and I'm going to say the Superman scene with Leia. It really threw me off initially. I first watched it, and I thought, right, she's Kylo's there, you know, shall I not blow the ship up? He senses Leia on there. Essentially, that's his mum on there, and he's thinking, nah. He ends up not doing it, and these two minions beat by the side just blow shit out of it anyway. So, I don't know. I think they could have done that a little bit better, a little bit kind of, because I've heard whatever it was, people's accounts of people in the audience laughing at that scene, because it is a little bit ridiculous. When I first saw it, I thought, and I know she has well. It's been hinted at she's one with the Force, and she's not like, with lightsabers and that, but she's one with the Force. She can do things, and this is one of the things she can do. I felt maybe they could have done that a little bit, because it just looks like she wakes up. There's a ship, like Iron Man or something, just doing a Superman thing, and I thought that's. I was thinking about this, and maybe. This is my thing, whether they could have got her to, she wakes up, she sees a predicament, and like in say Empire, when Luke is being hung upside down, and he's can't reach his saber, and he just go, and the music started, so the music starts, and he reaches out, he can't see it, but he reaches out his hand really slowly, that kind of thing. So if they got her to just think about stuff, then do it, instead of just floating towards the city. It just seemed, I don't know. I mean, I get what she can do, that kind of thing. I guess obviously she's done it. It just seems to be there wasn't enough kind of if you're not well versed in the Star Wars, then you think, oh, she can fly now or something. Which it might throw you off a bit. How come she can fly and she don't fly in any other scenes or something? I don't know. Maybe just that bit more of a visual indication of what she's doing, kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe still do that, but do more initial kind of reaching out. They're just I want to go over there. All right. It seems to be a bit daft. To be honest, there's so many discussions I can have, so many other things I can talk about. A lot of things of this film, a lot of Star Wars related things at length with a lot of people. I love Star Wars so much. I mean, I even went out and got the sticker album, and also got the official collector's edition of for the film. I'll probably buy the novel when it comes out, and obviously the soundtrack, which by the way I really like. John Williams can't fault him whatsoever. Think of what you really like about the prequels, about these new films, about anything Star Wars films and stuff. John Williams is always excellent. I love this soundtrack and everything. Overall, I'd say it's a really well made film. Story wise, there's issues there. Characters I've got issues with, and things and all the rest of it. I do like the striking visuals, do like the match cuts they have, the kind of visual things, the kind of thematic themes. It is, in a lot of ways, it is very much Star Wars in terms of the pacing. Yeah, I talked about, Canto Bight, the casino world and all that. That seemed to be kind of like, and the whole chase with the kangaroo dog horse things. It seemed to be a little, just cut it, not so much cut it out, but it sets up the thing about the cruelty in the orphans. Rose is on about being an orphan, and she hates cruelty to these animals, these the cause, and it does set up the orphans and this broom kid at the end. If you notice, he does walks out, and there's a symmetry with how the way where Luke looks at the two sons in A New Hope, and he also looks out on when he's on the rocket. It's established that he's not actually fighting Kylo Ren. He's protecting himself, and it's taken a lot out of him. I get why he passes. I get that. That's a whole thing in itself. I can add another 10 minutes into the video talking about that, and if you like that, if you don't like that. Whether it's going to come back as Force Ghosts, that's another discussion perhaps in episode 9. What I would say is, it does set up that symmetry between, looking at the sun, looking at the two suns, looking at the horizon, and you got at the very end, you've got this kid, one of the orphans, as Broom Kid, as someone's noted, and I thought that's a pretty good nickname for him, because if you notice, he goes out to sweep, the floor in a thing, he reaches out his hand with the broom, you notice he don't grab the broom go into his hand, but so, he goes and looks at the thing, and it also kind of supports the idea in a way that, you could be anyone. You don't have to be a Skywalker, you don't have to be, because you look at the, Revenge of the Sith, and basically the Jedi Council in the prequel trilogy, and whatever you think about the prequel trilogy, you can say there's loads of Jedis, there's a lot of Jedis that don't have to be connected, in some way, like with blood kind of thing. So the idea was just some kid, some orphan. It does kind of have a symmetry with how Ray was, how there's little things there, and this kid, Broom Kid, looks out to the horizon. It ends, and there we go. There's the credits and so forth. So overall, I like the visuals to it. A lot of nice match cuts, like thematic things on a symmetry with the other films in terms of the horizons and things, and story wise there's elements of Empire and Jedi, that Rian Johnson knows his Star Wars, whether you agree with these things or not. And by the way, I should have said this at the start, perhaps, there's a lot of, this film, it's been very divisive, and for a lot of justifiable reasons perhaps, and I'm not, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I respect their opinion and all that. I can see what they're saying. I won't go as far as some people are saying it's the worst film ever, the worst Star Wars film ever. I mean, the worst Star Wars film, I don't know how this... I feel, personally, I like Force Awakens better than this film. But I don't know how, I would put them all together kind of thing, I think... I don't know, I can't say for now, give it a little time. It's like, I see it as way... As like, you see top 10 films, top 100 films in a magazine or something, and it's usually flavour of the month that, near the top and whatever. Give it about 5-10 years, then you'll see it go back to some kind of like equilibrium kind of thing. Not equilibrium the film, I'm talking about, you have to give these, sometimes you got to give them a little while, because, I don't know, but I wouldn't say it's the best Star Wars film. Probably not the worst, I don't know. It's somewhere. I don't know. So I like the film. My prediction, I don't want to do predictions for episode 9, but I don't know what they're going to do with Princess Leia. To be honest, she's there at the end, and she goes, we've got everything we got right here, when, talking about a new rebellion and all the rest of it, I don't know what they're going to do with her, whether they're going to go down. I don't think Disney, I think they initially asked the estate of Carrie Fisher, could they use CGI, much like they did in Rogue One. I don't think they're going to do that, whether that they didn't get permission, or whether they think it's a bit of a bit of disrespectful, and I don't think they're going to recast. I don't know if people will accept that. I don't know what they're going to do. I honestly, are they going to do... I do believe Episode 8 and Episode 9 will have more time between them. You got to think, because the way Kylo Ren is, and the way the way the characters are, you're thinking, can't remember how it's 2 or 3 years between the events of Empire and Jedi. And for me, I always thought, like in Jedi, when you first see Luke Skywalker, he's more assured of himself. The way he walks into Jabba's palace, does that to the Gamorrean guards, and they go up to the wall. It just seems a bit more sure of himself. He's obviously matured. He's got better at what he was training for and stuff. Whether or not, I'm thinking they're gonna have more of a gap time wise between the events of this film and whatever happens in episode 9. I don't know. I don't think I'd like if they go down the route of, say, Alien 3. At the start, where they basically say, yeah, Newt's dead, Hicks are dead, deal with it, kind of thing. Not exactly that, but Lance, they're not in Alien 3, but for various reasons, and they just say, okay, we just kill them off. We just have a screen saying, yeah, they're dead. They've been killed during transit, whatever. I don't know but I don't know what they're going to do. You know, are we going to see the Knights of Ren at all? You know, they've been hyped up in, you know, from Force Awakens and so on. You know, it does mention, you know, in Acto, you know, Kylo Ren and, you know, all these mates, you know, the Knights of Ren, like, you know, all escaped, all did this and did that. So where are the others? I don't know. Are they going to show him? Force Ghost Luke? Are they going to do that? They're going to have him, you know, Luke back at some point. I'm not sure contractually what, you know, if Mark Hamill has kind of signed on or anything. I don't know. It's all up in the air. I don't want to be theorising too much because, again, I don't know. You know, it's for some people. I respect people who want to do that. That's up to them, obviously. Their videos. You know, everyone's got entitled to their own kind of opinions on this. You know, I agree with some things, don't agree with others, whatever it is. It's just my opinion. To be honest, I did think this new trilogy will get rid of some of the older characters. Not so older in age, but you know, the original characters. The passing of the baton, the kind of thing. But maybe not kill them off as they are doing now. Obviously, unfortunately, can't do anything about Princess Leia. You know, it is what it is. I thought, you know, when I watched it the first time, and Princess Leia and the, you know, General Leia and the ship was, you know, all blew up. I thought, okay, that might not have been what they wanted to do with Leia originally, but because of events in real life, that's how she goes out. Obviously, that's not the case. So it is what it is, you know. So theories down below if you want to. What do you make of this film? I'll say very divisive. I'm airing on it was good, you know, kind of thing. I didn't enjoy it as much as Force Awakens that I mentioned in my initial video. I think Force Awakens was more emotional for me. I think and again in that video I did say it's probably partial. It's probably because I haven't seen Harrison Ford as Han Solo, you know, Mark Hamill, you know, the original characters in their roles after, you know, since 1983 kind of thing. So it's a long time coming, and this is like, we not obviously know these characters in episode 9, well, apart from Han Solo in episode 8 and so forth. So maybe the initial thing, I don't know, it's better pace, I think, Force Awakens, because of this whole thing with getting this code breaker and the way they dealt with that and all that. I thought it could have been a little bit better, a little bit quicker kind of thing. It was the least out of the storylines, it was the least engaging one. And in terms of I think the Force Finn and Rose, they're kind of burgeoning romance a little bit too quick, a little bit too kind of, I don't know, convenient, but I can see where they're going, but maybe not yet kind of thing with their kind of relationship, you know. But there we go. That's my opinions. What's yours? You've probably got one. Let me know down below in the comment section. Like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends and everything. And in terms of film reviews, I don't know, I've got a few in my mind, you know, we're going to do loads of them. You know, it's good talking about films again, you know. I feel I'm a bit more loose. I mean, I've got 3.5 pages of, like, you know, scripts down there, you know. I kind of know what I'm going to be on about anyway, so just let me know all your any theories, what you want to see in episode 9, what you liked about this, what you didn't like, all the rest of it. So you do all that. Also got Facebook, Twitter, all that modern stuff going on. People like that kind of thing. I don't know. So yeah, just let me know down below and tell your friends and everything. And like, subscribe, comment. I'm saying things out of context, but like Yoda. But no, I don't know about context. Not context. Syntax. I don't know. Something like that. Anyway. So let me think. The new Cyrus in the words of. I don't know. I don't know.